Well, a Philadelphia teacher showing no class in her own classroom. This 16-year-old student saying her teacher publicly humiliated her for wearing a Mitt Romney t-shirt and then called the school Democratic. The district saying it transferred the teacher to another class. The teachers union refusing to comment. Political analyst Michelle Phil says this is yet another example of widespread bias against Romney from teachers in a classroom to many also in the mainstream media. You know, there have been a lot of examples of this, Michelle, but this has got to be one of the most egregious that I've seen throughout this whole period.
No, certainly. And what the teacher did is she asked the student to leave the classroom and take off her shirt because a Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan shirt is like wearing a Ku Klux Klan shirt, according to her. And she said that she shouldn't have been wearing a Republican shirt in a Democratic school. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. This woman should be fired.
And then on top of it, didn't this same teacher actually go in the halls and encourage everyone else to beat up verbally and mentally on this young lady?
Yeah, she went and she gathered other teachers and students to explain to them about the girl's shirt and how it was like wearing a KKK shirt. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And she claims that she was just joking and it wasn't a big deal. So either this woman has a very sick sense of humor or she's incredibly intolerant, or both, which means she ought to be fired.
Yeah, I was going to certainly say D, all of the above. You know, this is crazy. This is where you start to say, we have to draw the line. We saw the Chicago teachers strike where you have people who were making 2-3 times as much as the parents of the kids who were going to this school saying, we're not going to teach your kid until we get more money, until we're not accountable. When do the parents somehow step up? I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. You don't want your kid to go to school and get bullied by, of all people, the teacher.
Exactly. And it turns out that, of course, this woman, this teacher, is an Obama supporter, which isn't surprising because Obama's constantly bowing to these teacher union thugs all of the time. And under his administration, bad teachers are rewarded. And these teachers know that if a Republican gets elected, there will be school choice, there will be competition, and teachers won't be rewarded simply for seniority. They will be rewarded according to the value that they create. And that is a threat to bad teachers like this one.
You know, this one, and you know, here's the thing. Nothing probably will come of this, right? I mean, with respect to this particular teacher, do you think there'll be any sort of punishment, any sort of disciplinary action?
The disciplinary action is simply that she was just transferred to another classroom, which is absolutely ridiculous. This woman needs to be fired. There are so many teachers out there looking for a job who could qualify and probably are much better than this teacher. This woman should leave, and we should put one that is much better in the classrooms.
Michelle, what do you think could turn this around? Ultimately, do you think there has to be something akin to an uprising from the parents themselves? I mean, you know, because to your point, from a political point of view, it feels like there's this real odd relationship with the Democrats and the teachers union. I don't know who pulls the strings. Sometimes the puppet seems to be the president. Sometimes the puppet seems to be the teachers unions. But whatever it is, it doesn't feel like that's ever going to change unless there's a real grassroots movement to make it change.
Exactly. You know, I think that parents need to be out there and need to explain that they want the power not in the teachers' hands, but in the students' hands, because that's who's really important. That's the people that we should be worried about, the students, and empower them. We need school choice, we need competition, and we need to get the power out of these teachers' unions' hands and put it back in the parents' and the students' hands.
What if someone said, though, that it's just inappropriate for a kid to wear that kind of a shirt that might be, you know, offensive to others? What would you say to that?
Well, look, I think that we need to allow students to have freedom of speech. It's a freedom of expression. I think that they ought to be allowed to wear that. And I'm sure if a student showed up with an Obama-Biden shirt, this would have never happened. These are teachers who are against Romney, against Republicans, and are trying to persuade and indoctrinate these students.
So let me get this straight, Michelle. You're suggesting freedom of speech, teachers that are out there looking out for students and not the unions, and you think that might fly in this place called America, huh?
I think so. I think it ought to be like that.
Yeah,
it's a shame that it's not.
It better be like that. Michelle Fields, you're the best. See you soon.
Thank you.